Welcome back to the channel again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Got this video here from TMZ. Title here says, Wendy Williams situation just exploded. I don't know what the hell is going on. All right. Again, you know she's trying to get out of that conservatorship. There's been a lot of back and forth going on about her health. It's just crazy when you think of someone, what she was to what she is now, and how they been talking to her and saying, like, she seems fine to me. She seems fine. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Charles here.
And Babcock here.
So this is turning out to be a very, very big week for Wendy Williams. We saw earlier this week fans rallying outside of the assisted living facility where she is staying. That was clearly a big boost to her. We could see that in the video. But now she has retained the services of one Joe Tacopina. Joe Tacopina, of course, the attorney who just got ASAP Rocky acquitted here in Los Angeles in that assault case.
Well, he's one of the biggest and most high-profile defense.
Boy, that's huge. That is huge. Because again, if you look at all the stuff ASAP was being accused of, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Attorneys in the world, Charles.
Right,
Period.
and obviously Wendy is hoping that he can help her get out from under this guardianship. And it's going to be clearly a battle. The Guardian has been fighting Wendy on this. Wendy doesn't want to be in that facility, but they are going back and forth. And now Joe is stepping into that. So without further ado, the man that Wendy is hoping will get her freedom, Joe Tacopina, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Thanks, Charles.
So tell us, so Wendy's retained you as her personal attorney. What's the next step? How do you get on the guardianship case, which is really the end goal here?
Yeah, I mean, the end goal is to get her out of that draconian institution she's in that she doesn't belong in, because she's not incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. She's in a ward where people don't know their names, where people don't know between a red light and a green light. I mean, she's in a place where, people are dangerous to themselves. She's not. She can't leave there on her own to go get a cup of coffee. So the goal end game is to make sure she gets out of there. How it's done is honestly, it doesn't matter to me now. I spoke to Wendy at length yesterday. She wants me to represent her. I am representing her. Her family's asked me to represent her. I'm her personal attorney now. Doesn't mean I'm in the guardianship case yet, and I'm not, because the judge has to approve any lawyer coming in to the guardianship.
Dang, so what if they don't approve? Can they just do that just to be on some like slick sly stuff? You know what I mean? Like, but what would be the reason for you to be like, nah, you can't? I don't know, man. This might get ugly before it get, uglier. Because like he just went on record, like you just heard him say, this is the lawyer who said she don't belong in there. So he obviously did some listening and talking and felt like, okay, like, why is she up in here? So we'll see.
So the bottom line is there's a process that's in play there. We are moving. We're making motions to make sure we're doing everything to get ourselves into the guardianship proceedings. And then we have other remedies if that doesn't work. If the judge, for some reason, doesn't allow us into the guardianship matter as Wendy's counsel of choice, which is almost sounds ridiculous.
Right.
But, they could try and argue that she's doesn't have the wherewithal, the abilities to pick her own counsel, which is obviously silly. But if they did, we'd take an interlocutory appeal, or we could go as far as doing something called an Article 78, which is actually suing the judge in a Supreme Court, New York State. So we have things to do, and we'll be doing them. There are certain rules once I'm in as a guardian, in the guardianship case. There's gag orders in place and whatnot, so it'll change my ability to do things that we're doing right now. But I don't care about that. I care about just getting her out of there. And whether it's me or this other law firm or us as a team, she needs to be out of there. Every day she spends there is a travesty of justice, and any additional day she spends there is horrific. I speak to her almost daily, and it's just, I mean, you look at those videos, it's horrible. She's fine.
Joe, how do you go about getting her out of that facility when the guardianship, I mean, you'd have to go against the guardianship at this point or are you just trying to convince, is this a negotiation with the guardian to say, look, she clearly doesn't belong in there, and then you deal with the guardianship itself later?
No, it's all sort of under one umbrella where the judge basically has to be convinced that she is not in need of a guardian. And the guardian sort of has to acquiesce. And it should be also supported by medical examinations, which Wendy has done very well on. Look, she does not have frontal lobal dementia. She just doesn't. That's something that deteriorates over time, does not improve over time. And from 2024, when she was diagnosed with that, she was under a severe battle of alcoholism, and she was an alcoholic and is an alcoholic. She's sober now, but look on that TMZ piece that you guys produced with Harvey doing her interview, it was amazing. She was cognitive, she was articulate, she was Wendy. That's a year and a half after that Lifetime video where she looked incoherent. That's because of the alcohol. That was because of her mental deterioration. And so you don't get better. She's obviously better. So if it were a neurological issue, she wouldn't be talking the way she is today. So it's really it's sad that this is happening. And there's I quite frankly question the motivations of people in this thing. But the bottom line is she needs to get out of there, and sooner rather than later. We have an ability, if the judges are going to let this happen, there is a mechanism where she's entitled to a jury trial. I hope it doesn't get that far. I hope a judge is going to evaluate her, look at the medical evaluations, listen to her, and say, okay, she's fine. She could go. I mean, this judge actually went as far at one point to say that, one of the reasons she thought she was incapacitated is because she repeatedly used the word, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That phrase, I should say.
That's crazy.
Well,
That's
Wendy
her.
Williams has been saying that that's her, and Harvey did a great thing. You guys did a great thing on that with your documentary, where you showed that Wendy has been saying that for 15 years on her show. That's one of her catchphrases, that and how you doing, right? So that's Wendy's speech mannerisms. That's not a indicia of mental defect, but that was actually used against her. So this is a scary thing.
Knowing the law like you do in New York State and having had many conversations with Wendy, what is your level of confidence that you will get her out of there? And I know you said sooner rather than later. What is a realistic time, here where Wendy could actually walk out of that facility?
Look, there's a hearing coming up in April. I'm hoping there's a lot of progress made then. I hope and pray I don't even have to get involved to the point where there's a jury issue. I hope and pray that this thing just gets resolved fairly in the court system quickly. It should be done quickly, because again, every day she spends in there is another day that justice is being thwarted. But again, this is a system that doesn't move quickly, and the guardianship process is not one that is been conducive to fast moving. So I don't know the answer to that, quite frankly.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Listen, I know you got to go. You see, you're on the move. You're a busy guy there in New York. But before you go, we saw this video of Wendy's fans just the other day rallying outside of the facility. She was, waving to them. They're all cheering for her. Do you know what was? We could see on her face how happy she was. I'm wondering if you had a chance to speak to her about that experience and what it meant to her.
It meant a lot to her. This support has been amazing. I mean, she's getting and it's not just that. It's, she's getting so many people from the industry, from you guys, from Harvey, from Rosanna Scotto, Howard Stern, Charlemagne, people who love her, know her, Billy Bush. I mean, so many people in that industry really revere Wendy, and the support she's getting is unbelievable. But when she sees something like that, people who are taking time out of their lives to show support for her, it's very touching, and she was moved by it, like moved to tears. So it was something that was very nice and very, very important for her.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. Listen, next time we speak, hopefully you'll be cleared and actually be on the guardianship case, and we'll see where that goes. Joe, thanks so much for being with us, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
That is a big step for Wendy, obviously.
Look, man, when you think about everything, like, I'm just hoping that the judge doesn't be like, nah, you can't, because, like, I feel like as soon as she get out and get back to herself, like, fully, completely, I said she needs to do a podcast. I don't know if I don't think she needs a co-host. She might have somebody sit next to her, but I just want to hear her talking about everything that's going on right now. I just want to hear her say, I said this years ago. Like a Wendy Williams podcast would be, because the podcast world is taking off right now. So to hear her on the podcast, yeah, definitely. But I look at the comments. Wow. First comment says, I can't wait until she's free in podcasting. The world needs Wendy. Wow. Oh yeah, he's about to go hard for Wendy. I hope he gets her justice plus more. This is the best news for Wendy's. Yes. So happy that Joe is defending. Yeah. It's a lot of positive things, But man, I just feel like yeah, once she get out, if that's the number one thing to me is once she gets out, she needs to hit that podcast and just let it all out, But hey, I appreciate you guys coming over and watching, man. Peace out.